Hi there, welcome to Backyard Bonsai and Blooms. Today we're going to look at this little portulacaria afra lilliput, and today's project is going to be a repot and just kind of give it a maintenance prune to get it back in shape. But this guy's been in this pot probably 2 to 3 years, and I'm sure it's pretty root bound just because the pot's so small. You can see it'll fit in the palm of my hand here, so it's pretty small. But I think it's probably outgrowing it a little bit. I could root prune it and keep it in this pot, but I think I want to get it just a little bit bigger, and grow the tree just a little bit bigger, kind of continue developing the trunk and the root base, just to see if I can get that fatter. Probably let the tree grow a little bit taller once it's in the new pot, but that's a year down the road. So today, like I said, we're going to try to get this out of this pot and into a bigger pot. I think we're going to try to put it in this guy here. Just give it a little bit more size. I'll set it back here so you can see it's going to give it a little bit more depth, a little bit more width. So I think it'll be good for it. So first of all, let's try to get it, just put this tray down to catch some of the soil. Try to get it out of the pot here. It's not wired in. This is just to hold the drainage screen, I'm pretty sure. So let's see if I can loosen it. Probably not. Get my little tool here. Just try to break it up from the sides of the pot, going around. Just helps because some of the roots really get attached to these unglazed pots. They tend to stick to it a little bit more. Doesn't take a lot, just have to. And if I pulled hard enough, I probably could have pulled the tree out of the pot, but I don't want to damage the trunk or anything else, so we'll try it this way. It's starting to loosen up here. Yep. Pretty good chunk of roots here. Yeah, it definitely needed repotted. I'll go ahead and cut some of these bigger roots that are hanging down. Might slow the tree down just a little bit, but these things recover really quick, especially when they're outside. We're in the middle of July right now, and I'm in Texas, so I'll set it back outside and it'll really take off. See if I can get some of the soil off the top of down by the roots here, so when I repot it, I can raise it up just a little bit just to expose a few more roots. I try to do that each time on these trees that I'm developing, just to try to expose a little bit more of the root flare. I think that'll do it. I'll set this aside. And then, yeah, you can see how small this tree is. It fits right here in the palm of my hand. It's got a nice, stable, flat root base, so that's good. All right, let's set the tree aside here and get the pot ready. Like I said, here's the pot we're going to use. Put some drainage screen, and screen I use is just, this is like you buy at a home center hardware store. It's just window screen, and it seems to work out just fine. Just fills up the bottom of the pot like that. And I don't think, I was debating on whether to tie this in or not. I've got it in my screen house outside, so it really doesn't get affected by animals or anything, so I don't know. But I do want it to be stable. I think it'll probably be fine. I want to go without wiring it in. Now that I say that, I'm rethinking. I don't know. I just don't want a wire going up over that trunk there, that root. I would almost have to if I wired it in. So let's try not wiring it and see what happens. Let's get some soil in here. And I don't wire my screens in typically. I just fill the soil up, and my soil I use is pretty heavy, so it'll hold the screen in. I've got some soil in there. Let's test fit it, see if the height's right. And I think that's going to be just about good because I want to keep it elevated a little bit. Just check, and I think I want this pretty well centered. You know, sometimes you off center them just for a little effect, but I think having this one centered is gonna work out. So I think that's gonna do it. A little bit more soil around the edges to make sure it's all flat. It's centered front to back. There. And then centered side to side. I think that's gonna do it. Go ahead and fill it up the rest of the way. You could use a chopstick, which I might still do, but just based on how the roots looked, since it was pretty flat, I'm just kind of aggressively tamping it down, and just the vibration will cause the soil to kind of settle in. And you can kind of tell, if you just kind of wiggle the tree, if it wiggles a little bit, it might need to, settle the soil in a little bit more. And then once it gets settled in, it'll quit. It won't be as free, so it won't wiggle as much. So that's what works for me anyway. And just continue to work it in with your finger. And fill it up a little bit more. Feels pretty good. Looks decent. You can see that root flare pretty good. All right, I think that's it for the repot. Let's go ahead and give it a quick maintenance prune here. And I like the overall shape, so this is truly just a, maintenance. It's really not developing the structure too much. Just kind of knocking some of these longer shoots back into kind of a profile prune here first. And then once I get it kind of to the profile that I want, then I'll go back, and if I want to really kind of detail it, because to me, I call this like the fluffy stage, where it's not really overgrown, but it's just not real even either. It's just kind of, like I said, like fluffy looking. So then you can kind of go back and just kind of maybe take back a few more of these shoots. Just to kind of refine it a little bit more if you want. Just trying to decide if I want to get this, because I could let some of these grow a little bit just to kind of get it taller. Actually, I kind of like the little fluffy stage at this point for this tree. And sometimes, like that one there, I just take off the leaves that are facing downward, because to me it's a little distracting sometimes, because I want the bottom of my foliage pads to be flat for the most part. And when you have these leaves like this one hanging down, it just kind of takes away from that. So if you cut that off, it just gives that appearance that it's a lot flatter. And let all the foliage grow to the top. So just kind of cleans that up and puts all the growth at the top of the tree. I need to turn this one around on my bench. You can see it's got a little bit uneven on the front side, but I don't want to, I could prune that back, but I'll flip it around on my bench so the sun hits this side more, kind of catch this side up. But overall, I mean, the development of it's pretty good. It's all thick. That's why I like these lilliputs. I mean, I've got a tree here about the size of my hand, and it's just really covered and really dense on top. And a normal portulacaria, the leaves would be just a lot bigger, and it just doesn't have the same look when you keep it. You try to keep them small, because it's like these leaves here, these are full grown, and it's, you can see it's a lot less than the tip of my finger, but a normal portulacaria leaf would be as big as my finger. Take a look at it. Yeah, I really like the front profile. That looks pretty good. Liking the root flare. Got decent taper on the branches. The back is pretty good. Needs a little bit more development. And this tree is kind of weird because I don't have a true back branch, but this branch is growing right off of the first branch towards the back. So I'm kind of using that as a back branch. So I'm going to let that continue to grow and thicken up, and that'll kind of give me the, when you look through the tree, you can see that it's got some depth on it. I'm debating on whether to take this because I really like seeing the structure of the tree, but this branch kind of, I'll just try to prop it up in there. Because I really like exposing the trunk and then the main branches, but to do that I would have to take off some of this growth. Yeah. I think I'm just going to leave it for today. Yeah, so I think that's going to just about do it. Just clean off some of this clutter here. And like I said, I'll spin it around so where the sun will be hitting the backside for the most of the day, and it will thicken that up and I'll get some balance. But yeah, pretty happy with this little guy's development so far. Let me give you a quick spin around. There's the front, there's the left side, there's the back, right side, then back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.